Okay. Is that right? I'm fresher than a moth.
All right, then. So Chris Brown is definitely fresh. So let's try this again. Steve, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Vickens. How are you?
Oh, I am doing so good. I really am thankful to have you on the line right now. As the universe and everyone could see, when we have someone on the line that could just spit so much truth like that, you never know what could be making it difficult. But Steve, I know you've been doing a lot of research throughout these years, and you know you uncovered a lot of truth out there. What are you working on right nowadays to really help us understand like the reality out there?
Well, right now I've been in California doing more research on the legend of J.C. Brown, and so I've been since 2007 involved with the research, doing the research, libraries, following up leads, and then finally going out in the last 2 years and actually start looking for tunnels and caves and connecting the dots with the legend. So basically I've been following inner Earth mysteries the last couple of years, as well as the other things that I've done that I put on my other websites that you probably want to talk about today as well, I would guess.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I know you have the Sindoni says.webs.com that's really on and popping, and a lot of people could reach you literally one-on-one and really just get all the info that they need so they can, start to decipher the reality and see what it is really about. So that's SINDONISAY
s.webs.com.
Oh yeah. Sorry
now
about
the reason I've got the Sindoni says.webs.com, Vickens, is because I'm sure that after us doing the hookup today here and talking about some of the things we will, that people are going to want to say, you know what, I want to talk to him personally because I like to know more about some of these things that he's just blowing the cover off or blowing the doors off, so to speak, because a lot of people are inside the box, as you know, and they're afraid to speak because they know that they could lose their jobs, or that sometimes might even lose their lives over things that pretty much are obvious, but they're afraid to say it. There was a comedian years ago, Bobby Collins, and he used to say, you know what, there are things my wife does that really irritates me, but on the outside, I love you, honey, but on the inside, like he's want to swear at her. So my point is that there are things that you bite your tongue that can't be said in public because people will say, oh, wait a minute, you're going out on a limb. But then there are those of us, and I guess I'm one of those, who goes out on a limb and says, all right, let me show you where to look to back it up. And, the mind is like a parachute, Vickens. It can only work if it's open.
Definitely right about that. And when a person's open to learning and really experiencing and, checking out the truth and questioning, that's when things really start to make sense. And when we can be objective to what we see. Like on the Family Guy episode the other day when, they were all sitting in church and, they were all just singing in unison, and, Peter Griffin was just talking about how if you really looked at that objectively, what was really going on, like it would be just pretty kind of weird. But, so it gets so accepted, the religion and all these other things that people don't even really question it, what they're really actually doing. They just go along with the crowd. I'm sure you never really went with the crowd yourself, so I have to see.
Well, I'll tell you, in my book that can be purchased on my SindoniSays.webs.com site called Sindoni Says of the same title, when I was about 10 years old, I went to school on November 22nd of 1963 and was told at 2 o'clock in the afternoon that President Kennedy was assassinated. And every kid in that era growing up wanted to either be a doctor, a lawyer, or the president, or some other profession. And I guess when I went home, I took the news pretty badly about the president being assassinated. And my grandfather put me on his lap and watching the 6 o'clock news by that time. And he said, when you investigate the facts, you'll learn what really happened. I looked at him. Here I am, 10 years old, I was crying. He says, dry your eyes. He goes, but when you look into this, there's more than meets the eye. And, you know, it's like numbers don't lie and liars don't figure. When you put things together and you do the math, you know, forwards and back, you know, you usually find out, you know, who had their hand in the cookie jar, you know, who's the embezzler, you know, who's absconding the funds. You know, it's like, it's the right thing. You look at the right thing. It's like the umpire. If I was, right now, I'm going to be the umpire today on your show. You know, when the dust settles, I'm going to have made the call. And people are going to say, you know what? He was wrong. But then when they see the replay, they're going, you know what? The man was right. But that man had to leave that stadium with 50,000 screaming fans who didn't like the call, but deep down inside they know, you know what? I respect the man because he got it right.
Oh, yeah.
I like to talk about how we met, you know, if we can before we get into something, because this is very interesting about, you know, synchronicity and how the universe aligns with people and puts you in the right place at the right time. You want to share a segue as to how we met, and then I'll end it with it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I was in New York City right around Madison Square Garden, I think, heading home to catch the train back to Jersey. And I saw somebody with a sign wearing it, and they just happened to be Steve Sindoni. So I started reading the sign, and we just got to talking, and we just started talking for a little while. And, you know, I got the info. I went on YouTube, checked some videos out, and, you know, we just, you know, kept each other's contact info. And,
well, you know, you're right. You know, it was interesting, the sign that you're referring to, just to give the audience a good snapshot. I was a walking billboard with a sign around me that said, Stop Marconi, you know, at youtube.com to watch the new movie I created about the secret government and things that I made a joke out of because people wouldn't believe the truth. But there it was. I'm a walking billboard when I met you right near Madison Square Garden in I guess it was the second week of February of 2010.
Yeah. That was it was pretty. The weather was pretty nice too, as I remember. It was kind of sunny and pretty bright. So it was pretty amazing to have met you back then, and to be talking to you now on the show is really much of a blessing. So, you know, I really want to thank you for, you know, continuing your efforts to do what you do and how you expanded with new sites and everything. Matter of fact, I'm about to drop the site right in the chat room so everybody can check it out.
Oh, good, great.
Cool. So Steve, I know you've, you know, you talked about the Obama deception. About what was your favorite part about that you know people should really know, especially with the speech he had the other day.
Oh well, just before I met you, we'll set this up in January of 2010. Somebody sent me a YouTube video about Barack Obama and Osama bin Laden. It was a video where they unmasked the beard and the eyebrows and everything, and it turns out to be Barack Obama. And so I looked at this. I go, this is amazing, you know, how the similarities. So I got to thinking about it, you know, because I do many mysteries. I spent about 2 days looking on the Internet to find all the photos I could of Osama bin Laden. And then it hit me, you know, there's one thing that you can't really change. It's fingerprints or palm prints. So I went and Googled. I said, okay, what are the odds of two people having the same fingerprints or palm prints? The odds are 65 billion to 1 that you and I could have the same palm or fingerprints. That's pretty strong, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I found 4 different people who posed in Taliban photos other than Osama bin Laden, the original one. But one of the 4 who posed as Osama was Barack Obama. And how...
Okay.